Today we've been on the final day working at a site that again has never been looked at before, and it's a site of what may be a mansio. Now a mansio is a guest house that you find immediately outside Roman forts. It's a well-known type of structure that is attested for at a series of forts across the empire, and the one at Epiacum has never been looked at before, as I said, and we've decided to do some molehill collection across that area. Now it was difficult, to be honest. The rain was pouring down, making everything wet and miserable, and it was just very difficult getting the soil through the sieves, so it was hard work. And what we found was actually very little. Now obviously that's frustrating for the volunteers because everybody likes to find things. But archaeologically speaking, it's quite important information. Why is the Mansio site, if that's what it is, producing so few finds? I mean, there were literally just a few sherds of pottery from the entire site. And the reason for that may lie in what has happened to the landscape since the Romans were here. And it's on a slope, and it's possible that erosion over the centuries has buried the Mansio site to the extent that the moles are simply not able to dig deep enough to bring the archaeology to the surface. And as archaeologists, we need to understand what was happening, not just in the Roman period, but actually what came before that, and obviously what came after it. So for instance, medieval cultivation or post-medieval cultivation has quite an impact on the archaeology. So the fact that we didn't find much actually adds to the picture of the Epiacum landscape. It tells us the sort of processes that have made it look like the way it is today. And there's one final point I would end on, and it's that archaeology is a constant dynamic process also. People think that archaeology is slow moving, discoveries are few and far between, the information comes slowly, and actually that's not the case at all. When you do field work, the information comes quickly, there's often lots of it, but also what this highlights is that archaeology is about creating narratives that take decades to develop. That as archaeologists, we don't just get the answers through one season of field work, we don't just get the answers through 5 years of field work, that there's a huge amount of data and evidence and so many stories to tell that it's an ongoing process that takes decades and even centuries. And I actually think that's a really positive and exciting thing. So people often say, are we going to run out of archaeology? No, we're never going to run out of archaeology, and we're certainly not going to run out of archaeology here. That the narratives we create are going to be dynamic, there's going to be new information added all the time, and that's something to celebrate.